Global markets are on a free fall. Trillions have been erased from stock values. The US-China trade war has reached a fever pitch, leaving investors scrambling and economies on the edge. The US markets have today opened in the red. The tariff bomb is wiping out $10 trillion in stock market value. For comparison's sake, that's half of the EU's entire GDP. After Monday's mayhem, the Asian and European markets are marginally in the green. But what happens next is more worrisome. Markets continue to remain under a cloud of uncertainty as China asserted it will never accept the blackmail nature of the US to Trump's threat to ratchet up tariffs on imports from China to more than 100%. Beijing has vowed to fight till the end.
This is a typical example of unilateralism, protectionism, and economic bullying, and has been widely opposed by the international community. China strongly condemns and firmly opposes such actions.
President Trump's threat to impose an additional 50% tariff on Chinese goods could push cumulative tariffs to a staggering 104%. Beijing is bracing for an economic war of attrition. It's feeling boxed into a corner by the US intensifying tariff assault on China and any country that buys or assembles Chinese goods.
With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said, if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on.
In 2024, US recorded its largest deficit, with China standing at almost $300 billion. In 2025, the US already faces a $122.7 billion trade deficit, a 6.1% increase from the previous year. The US imported over $400 billion in goods from China, while exports to China totaled around $278.5 billion. This growing gap has fueled tensions as Trump asserts that China's trade surplus is funding its military, something he is determined to curb. But there are worries that the clash between the world's two biggest economic powerhouses can cause more pain.
I've been affected. Yesterday, I lost 50,000 yuan all of a sudden. My capital shrunk by 50,000 yuan because my funds were not strong enough. Losing 50,000 yuan like this, it's very depressing.
In a surprising twist to the tariff saga, China is considering banning American movies as part of its retaliation strategy, a move that could cost Hollywood billions. This cultural dimension highlights the multifaceted nature of the conflict, which extends beyond tariffs to influence global culture and trade dynamics. And for the latest from the United States, our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York.
President Donald Trump has threatened an extra 50% tariff on Chinese goods by April 9th if China doesn't drop its 34% retaliatory tariffs by April 8th. This comes after President Trump announced a 34% tariff, which Beijing matched. The escalating trade war has sent global markets all over the place. Trump warned on Truth Social that China would face quote-unquote substantial higher tariffs and that all talks would be canceled. China's U.S. Embassy responded saying that it won't cave to threats. Meanwhile, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says that China's retaliation is a big mistake, adding fuel to the fire. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION The World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.